Good day, this is our presentation regarding practical examination in Computer Programming 1. So our problem statement indicate that write a program that will display based on the user choice in insert to an integer between ascending and descending order. The number of integers will depend on the user input, and this is the sequence of the program upon execution. So first, ask the user to input his or her name. Then prompt the user to select a sort to an integer by pressing A, which is the ascending order, and D, which is the descending order. Ask also the user to input a number of integers to sort. Next, ask the user to input an integers, then display the chosen sort of an integers if it is ascending or descending order. Lastly, ask also the user if they want to start or try again the program. So this is our sample output. The program will ask the name of the user. For example, enter a name. I input Decime, then it will display, Hi Decime. Press A if you want to sort an integer in ascending order, and press D if you want to sort an integer in descending order. For example, the user select A, then the program will ask to enter a number of integers to sort. For example, I input 10, then it will display enter 10 integers. For example, I input 12, 43, 56, 45, 43, 23, 67, 65, 45, 98. Then it will display a sort of an integer in ascending order such as 12, 23, 43, 43, 45, 45, 56, 65, 67, and the 98. So lastly, the program will ask again to the user if he or she wants to try again the program. So in this case, I choose no, and it will be the end of the program, and print or display, thank you for your participation.
So for our flowchart, we'll start the program, and the first thing is that it will ask the user to enter its name. And then it will proceed to ask the user to choose if they wanted to sort their numbers in ascending or descending order. Else, if they input that is none of the choices, it will print please try again A and D only. Then it will automatically go back to ask if user wanted to sort in ascending or descending order. If the user chooses to sort in ascending order, then it will proceed to ask the user to input the length of array to sort in ascending order. After the user input, it will ask again the user to enter the numbers that will be sorted. Then if array j is greater than array j plus 1, if it is a yes, then it will swap array j and array j plus 1, then increment j plus plus. But if it is a no, it will directly go to increment j plus plus, and then it will proceed to determine if j is less than num minus I minus 1. If it is a yes, then it will go back to if array j is greater than array j plus 1 as the new key. If it is a no, then j is equal to 0 and proceed to increment I plus plus, and again if I is less than num minus 1. If it is a yes, then it will go back again to a decision if array j is greater than array j plus 1 as the new key compared to another that the user input. If it is a no, after all the process of the input number to sort, then it will print the sorted list of integers in ascending order. Then it will ask the user if do you want to try again. If they answer yes, then it will go back to ask the user to input if they wanted to sort in integers in ascending order or descending order. If no, then it will end. Now, if they choose to sort the integers in descending order, it will ask the user to enter the length of array, and then after the user enter, it will ask again to input the integers they wanted to sort in descending order. Then it will proceed on the first and second integers as the key. If array j is less than array j plus 1, if it is a yes, then it will swap array j and array j plus 1, then increment j plus plus. But if it is a no, then it will directly go to increment j plus plus. Then we'll proceed to determine if j is less than the num minus I minus 1. If it's a yes, then it will go back to if array j is less than array j plus 1 as the new key. But if it is a no, j is equal to 0, increment I plus plus, Then, if I is less than num minus 1, if it is a yes, then it will go back to if array j is less than array j plus 1 as the new key. Otherwise, it will print the sorted list of integers in descending order and ask the user if they wanted to try again. If they answer yes, then it will go back to ask the user if they wanted to sort an integer in ascending or descending order. Else, the program will end.
So for our pseudocodes, the program will start to ask the user to input its name, then if they wanted to sort an integer by ascending or descending order. If A is chosen, input length of array to sort in ascending, input numbers of integers, input integers. If array is greater than array plus 1, if yes, swap array and array plus 1, then increment j plus plus. If no, then it will directly go to increment j plus plus. If j is less than num minus I minus 1, if it is a yes, it will go back to question if rj is greater than rj plus 1. If no, j is equal to 0, increment I plus plus. If I is less than num minus 1, if yes, then it will go back to question if rj is greater than rj plus 1. If no, then it will print sorted list of integers in ascending order. Then it will ask, do you want to try again? If yes, it will start the program, else it will end. Else, if D is chosen, input length of array to sort in descending, input numbers of integers, input integers. If array is less than array plus 1, then increment j plus plus. If no, then it will directly go to increment j plus plus. If j is less than num minus I minus 1, if it is a yes, it will go back to question if array is less than array plus 1. If no, j is equal to 0, increment I plus plus. If I is less than num minus 1, if it is a yes, then it will go back to a question if rj is less than rj plus 1. If no, it will print sorted list of integers in descending order. Then it will ask, do you want to try again? If it is a yes, it will start the program, else it will end. Else, if the user enter a key that is none of the choices, then print please try again and choose A and D only. Then it will go back again to the program asking if they wanted to sort an integer by ascending or descending order.
So in creating a source code in Java based on the given problem statement that mentioned earlier, we need to open our IDE and create new Java project. So we name it as Midterm Exam. Then after creating a project, we create a main package followed by a class. Since we are going to create a Java program in bubble sorting of an integer in ascending and descending order, we name it as bubble sorting. A brief introduction about bubble sorting. It is a sorting algorithm that can be defined as an algorithm or a procedure to put elements of a collection in a specific order. For example, if you create a numeric collection like an array list of integers, then might want to arrange the elements of array list in ascending or descending order. Therefore, we can use the techniques in bubble sorting to sort the collection by repeatedly comparing two adjacent elements and swapping them if they are not in the desired order. So as you can see, based on the given program, the first thing we do is to put an scanner in order to collect the user input. Scanner read text from standard input and return it to a program. Scanner also is a part of the java.util package. That's why don't forget to import java.util.scanner. Then input is string, which is the data type, I is the identifier, is equal to double quote semicolon. Then system out print, enter your name, string name is equal to scan that next line. This is included in order to get the name of the user. Then next, creating a while statement. So while true, system out that print hi plus name. Press A if you want to sort an integers in ascending order, or press D if you want to sort the integers in descending order. Then put again user input is equal to scan that next in order to get the choice of the user. Then next, create if-else-if condition. If user input that equals ignore case A, meaning the sort of an integer is in ascending order. Else if user input equals ignore case D, meaning the sort of an integer is in descending order. Else if the user input not A and D, then display please try again A and D only. So after creating a while loop regarding the choice of the user, it will follow and include system out print line, do you want to try again? Meaning, it will ask the user if they want to try again the program. I is equals to s dot next line in order to get the user input. If the user type yes, then it will start again. Otherwise, if I that equals ignore case no, end of the program, and display thank you for your participation, then break.
Next, we are going to create two functions such as sort ascend for ascending and sort descend for descending order. Type int num, I, j, and swap. Type scanner input equal new scanner system.in. Then print enter a number of integers to sort. Then type num equal to input that next int open and close parentheses in order to get the user input. Since we are going to create an array and arrange elements of array list, type array open and close bracket equal new int, then open bracket num, then close bracket. Then system.out.print open parentheses double quoted for enter plus num plus double quoted for integers, then close parentheses. Next, we are going to create a for loop condition. For I is equal to 0, semicolon, I is less than num minus 1, I plus plus, or the increment I plus plus. For j is equal to 0, j is less than num minus I minus 1, j plus plus, or the increment j plus plus. Then create an if condition. So if rj is greater than rj plus 1, the program will perform the swap equal to rj. Rej is equal to Rej plus 1 and Rej is equal to swap. Here, we maintain an array of numbers and use two for loops to traverse two adjacent elements of the array. If two adjacent elements are not in order, then they are swapped. Then create system.out.println, open parenthesis, sorted list of integers in ascending order, close parenthesis. So here, it will display the numbers in increasing order. Then for, open parenthesis, I is equal to 0, I is less than num, semicolon, I plus plus, close parenthesis, or the increment I plus plus, then type system.out.print rei. The second function is sort descent. Just like the sort ascend method, they have common codes or ways in order to arrange the array list of integers. So first, type static void sort descent, type int num, I, j, swap. Int is the data type, num, I, and j are the identifiers. Then create a scanner in order to collect the user input. So type scanner input equal to new scanner, open parenthesis, system dot in, then close parenthesis, then print, enter the number of integers to sort. Then the type num equal to input dot next int in order to get the input of the user. Since we are going to collect an array list of an integers, type int array open and close bracket equal to new int, open bracket num, then close bracket. Then system.out.println, enter plus num plus integers. Then create again two for loops such as for open parenthesis I is equal to 0, semicolon, I is less than open parenthesis num minus 1, then close parenthesis, semicolon, I plus plus, then close parenthesis. For open parenthesis j is equal to 0, semicolon, j is less than open parenthesis num minus I minus 1, then close parenthesis, semicolon, j plus plus, up close parenthesis. Then create if statement if raj is equal to raj plus 1, swap equal raj
Rij is equal to Rij plus 1, then Rij plus 1 is equal to swap. Then type system that out at print sorted list of integers in descending order. So in this part, it will display the sorted list of integers in descending order. So in order to explain further the given program, if there are n elements in a list by naming I as 0, I as 1, I as 2, and so on, then I as 0 or index 0 is compared to the value of index 1. Then the value of index 1 is compared to index 2 and so on. After comparing if the element is greater than the second, then the two elements are swapped if they are not in order. So this is applicable in sorting an integers in ascending and descending order.
So after creating a functions for sort ascend and sort descend, we are going to use them by calling the method. So put the sort ascend method in the if condition. So if the user choose or select A, then the method of sort ascend will follow. Otherwise, else if the user select D, then the sort descend method will follow. For further explanation, the system out print line enter your name and then the string name equals scan that next line. Ginagamit po ito in order to get the name of the user. And in the user input that is scan that next or the part where the program asks the user to select A and D, wherein it prompts the user to select a sort of an integer in ascending or descending order. So the sort ascend function, so this is a method for sorting an integer in ascending order. And the sort descend function, so this is a method for sorting an integer in descending order. So in the system out print line, do you want to try again and I is equals to s that next line, it will ask the user if she or he wants to try again the program. So if the user select no, then it will be the end of the program. Now, let's try to test the program. So as you can see, the program asks the name of the user. For example, the user input Daisy, then it will display, "Hi Daisy, press A if you want to sort an integer in ascending order, or press D if you want to sort an integer in descending order." So for example, the user select D, then the program will ask to enter a number of integers to sort. For example, the user input 3, then the program will ask the user to input 3 integers. So if the user input 12, 34, 40, then the program will display sorted list of integers in descending order is 40, 34, and 12. So since it is descending, the valued or integers display is in highest to lowest integers. Then the program will ask again the user if they want to try again. So if the user select yes, then the program will start again. Otherwise, if the user select no, then it will be the end of the program and print "Thank you for your participation."